Have you ever wished there was a way to get your bird to stop fighting you every time you went to pick him up? A method to keep him from lowering his head and nipping or lunging at you every time you came near him or tried to pet him? What if I told you that the reason your parrot is behaving like this is because you've probably been inadvertently coercing him to do things he doesn't want to do, and you've been doing it for your entire life? It's actually trained him to hate your hand. Would you want to know how to reverse the damage you've done with a technique that literally only takes 5 to 10 minutes a day and can have him cheerfully obeying you the next time you ask him to step up or want to pet him? I'm talking about a methodology that lets your parrot know you aren't going to force him to do things he doesn't want to do. It's the same type of methodology that I've been using recently to go fly my blue and gold macaw outside, untethered at my local park, and have them trusting me so much they cheerfully fly back to my hand when I ask them to instead of flying off to get away from me. That's how much they love my hand. Of course, I'm not suggesting in any way that this technique is some magic bullet method that will teach your bird to fly outside. That's not what I'm getting at here. Believing that would be truly foolish, but is one of the cardinal rules that I do have to follow to be able to even pull off this type of training outside, this more advanced stuff. Here's where most people accidentally mess this all up. They fail to respect their parrot's wants, needs, and opinions about whether or not it even wants to be picked up or pet. If they want their bird to step up, they force it to step up by chasing it all over the place or catching it in a towel. Or if they want to pet their bird and the bird doesn't want to be pet, they'll continuously keep trying to pet the bird, even though the bird is giving off obvious signs that it wants to be left alone, by showing signs of anxiety or by trying to get away. Then the owner will go blame it all on the bird and say the bird is ornery or nippy or aggressive or one-person birdish. Yeah. And the scary part is that you're probably inadvertently doing all this without realizing you are in fact training your parrot to bite you. But luckily there are two simple techniques that can reverse the damage that may have already been inadvertently trained. First, you're going to want to immediately stop coercing your bird into stepping up or being pet if he does not want to. If you go to pick your bird up or pet him and he lunges, screams, bites, or runs away from your hand, I've got a news flash for you. He doesn't want you to touch him. This doesn't mean you can't touch him in the future. You just have to go about it a little bit differently. What you need to do instead is ask your bird to come step up or be pet, and then let the bird decide if he wants to. This lets the bird realize he has a say in the whole matter of things. Many birds who bite when picked up just need a few extra seconds before their mood would change and they would actually want to step up. So leave your hand in front of them patiently versus grabbing one of their toes or pushing up against their chest to get them to come up. And for those birds who are a little more reluctant to come to you, don't be afraid to pull out one of his favorite treats and teach him that stepping up onto your hand means he gets a tasty treat. I realize some birds are going to choose that they never want to step up, and in those cases, I am all for adding some extra positive incentive with some tasty stuff. When you start asking your bird to do things instead of coercing him into doing things, something changes inside your bird's mind. It's like he finally realizes that he has a say in how he wants you to treat him. And he knows you are finally starting to listen to his point of view. This is the key secret to owners whose birds seem to really trust them and birds who seem to be nippy and ornery to their owners. A nippy bird is always on guard for when that crazy owner is going to come over and try to catch them. So he always feels like he has to be on high alert. And the trusting bird knows that even if their owner comes over and wants them to step up, they'll do it with respect and in a way that isn't scary, and oftentimes results in a tasty treat for them. When birds really trust their owners, they'll stop lowering their head to defend their feet when their owners come by, lunge less at outreached hands, be much less worried when you reach in to pet them, and are less jumpy when lots of things are going on around them in the house. But here's the really weird part, and I'm sure lots of people who watch this video are thinking, Chet, if I never force my parrot to step up, I'm worried he'd rather just go off and do his own thing versus ever come to me. But after coaching tons of people on this methodology, what we've noticed is that getting a bird to like you works a lot like playing hard to get does for the whole dating courtship thing in us humans. The more you push your bird into having to like you, the more the bird pushes you away and feels creepy about how you're treating him. Conversely, the less pushy you are and the less you try to throw your weight around to try to get your way, the more the bird is attracted to you and the more eager he is to spend time with you. Just recently, this methodology has been a cornerstone of my training philosophy and has allowed me to fix simple problems like getting this military macaw to go from nipping my fingers when he steps up to eagerly reaching out for me whenever I ask him to to more advanced training behaviors like freestyle flight that focus on teaching macaws like this one to love being on my hands so much they choose to fly to it, even with the option of flying off into the sunset.